What's up, brothers? We're going to read chapter 1 from the book Seduce with Integrity. This is a book I wrote. 500 pages of pure content, no fluff. So right now I'm recording the official audiobook version for you guys, but that's going to take a couple months at least. So I thought in the meantime, it'll be fun to kind of release some chapters on YouTube, just kind of freestyling, reading from the hardcover book. Beautiful experience. I recommend if you're getting the book, you get the hardcover, not the floppy one. It's a very nice tactile, I think is the word. It just feels really nice in the hand. So let's roll. Introduction. What is this book about? A real man doesn't have to lie or manipulate in order to get what he wants with women. This book is going to show you how to seduce women through methods of complete integrity. I'm going to teach you how to date the women you're truly attracted to. You're going to develop the life skill of being able to consistently and predictably attract the most beautiful women. Not only will you be able to attract and keep a beautiful woman, you'll have the skill and confidence to replace her if the relationship ends. This is true game. Your game is going to be built on skill, not luck. Therefore, you're never going to experience scarcity in relation to women again. Most importantly, I'm going to show you how to seduce women in a way that feels good in your heart, where your conscience is clear because you know you're not doing anything dishonest. Seducing women using methods of integrity increases your self-esteem because you do seduction in a way that you're proud of. When I start working with a client, the first question I ask is, what do you want? Do you just want to have casual sex with a bunch of beautiful women? Or are you looking for that one dream girl to form a long-term relationship with? The answer I usually get is, Jad, I'd like both. First, I want to gain the skills and confidence to consistently get dates with the women I'm truly attracted to. I don't want to settle. And once I've dated multiple attractive women and discovered what I like, I can choose the one dream girl I want to form a long-term relationship with. If that's the outcome you're looking for, then this book is for you. By the end of this book, you will have the confidence and skill to get the women you truly want. All right, moving on to chapter 1. And another thing is, please guys, let me know in the comments what you think of my narration. If you have any comments, you like it, you don't like it, any improvements that can be made on my narration, because obviously I'm not an audiobook narrator. Tell me, how am I doing with the narration? Because obviously I want to give you a superior experience with the official audiobook when it comes out. So another reason I'm releasing these chapters is kind of like practicing my audiobook narration skills. So let's get into chapter 1. Chapter 1, A Boy with a Dream. Growing up, I was one of the most insecure kids you'd ever seen. I loved girls more than anything in the world. At the same time, I was terrified of girls more than anything in the world. This conflict tore me up inside. As a young man, my life was guided by one singular mission. I had to become one with these beautiful creatures. Being separate from them was just too painful. I remember standing on the playground in grade 3, observing how the cool boys would talk to the pretty girls. I'd think to myself, I wish I could do that. I was determined to pick up clues from wherever I could. From an early age, I became a keen observer of human interactions. Yes, believe it or not, Jad was consciously breaking down the game since he was 8 years old. What you're holding in your hands is a research project that has been 35 years in the making. Quick reminder, there was no such thing as the internet while I was growing up. Much of what I learned came from real-world observation, experimentation, and a handful of personal development books I found on my mom's bookshelf. I didn't jump on the internet in a real way until I was 21. I spent all my teens, 20s, and early 30s in the exclusive pursuit of mastering seduction. I gave everything to this game. Like a mad scientist, I was a man obsessed. I flirted with countless girls and accumulated mountains of notes, field reports, and journal entries. I printed out reference guides for myself. I did everything I could think of in order to succeed at this game. I set aside everything: education, career, time with family and friends. I directed all my time, focus, money, and energy into one thing: girls, girls, girls. My dream was to make love to the most beautiful women in the world. Take your money, your fancy cars, and your mansions. I never wanted any of that. I just wanted to be one with pretty girls. Fast forward, today I'm one with my dream. I have been with the most beautiful girls in the world, and I am now in a relationship with my dream girl, Denisa. It was a hard and arduous road, but in the end, I finally arrived. I successfully transformed myself from an insecure, shy kid who could barely string 2 sentences together while in the presence of a pretty girl into a powerful, confident man who could predictably and consistently approach, attract, date, and keep the most beautiful women. I got to a point where I could do it repeatedly, so I knew it was skill, not just luck. Mastery of the game cost me more, took me longer, and was a lot harder than I had expected. But thanks to my dogged persistence and stubborn as a mule nature, I managed to make it to the other side. I now return from my 35-year quest with precious findings, which I am eager to share with you. These findings will get you there faster, make your quest easier, and even allow you to exceed my own accomplishments. I have traversed the valley of darkness, scaled the cliffs of doubt, and finally slayed the dragon with my sword. During my journey, I kept a ledger of my adventures. I wrote down all my breakthroughs, discoveries, and insights, amassing thousands of pages of notes. I wanted insurance that I would never go back to the way I was, so I recorded everything. Those entries accidentally became this book. I almost failed in my quest because my map was an inferior one. I now present you with a superior quest map so that your journey may be easier than mine was. So, this is your quest map to an easier journey. Why wasn't Dad there for me? This book was birthed from pain. As a teenager, my biggest frustration was, why isn't there any man there for me? Why can't I have a big brother or a father to show me the ways of women and the ways of being a man? I didn't have a big brother, and my father was never around. He was always working in different countries. All my youthful years, I was searching for a mentor. I did find some mentors along the way, but none of them helped me in the exact way I was needing. In the end, I accidentally became the mentor I was seeking all those years. Starting in my early 20s, I found myself frequently teaching other men the ways of women and seduction. It quickly became apparent that I was a natural-born teacher. I have the gift of explaining things in a way that people quickly understand. I have written this book to my younger self. I've held nothing back. This is the seduction book and mentor I always searched for but never found. This book serves as a father or big brother replacement for all the guys like me who didn't have a male figure in their lives, who could guide them and understand them. Many of you reading this book do have a big brother or a father present, but perhaps they don't understand you. Or maybe they haven't figured out this game themselves, so they aren't able to mentor you. My purpose is to be the man who's there for you, where no man was there for me. Through this book, I have cloned myself so that I can walk this journey with you. I am now traveling back in time and handing this book to my 13-year-old self. Although I have been blessed with much success in this game, my journey was a lot slower and more painful than it had to be. It was riddled with countless missed opportunities. I missed out on a lot of amazing sex with gorgeous girls due to my fear paralyzing me. I'll be honest with you, I almost gave up on this game several times. If you've ever contemplated walking away from this game, I get it. It's hard. But I'm here on the other side to tell you, don't give up. The rewards on the other side are priceless. I assure you, if you walk with me, we will get you there. When I'm talking about rewards, I'm not only talking about the priceless moments you'll share with the beautiful women, I'm also referring to the ever-abiding peace you will feel inside your soul for having conquered such a tough game. You may have been walking this path alone up until this point, but now we're walking side by side. This is why I've cloned myself by writing this book, so I can walk with you every step of the way and be there for you where no man was fully there for me. You're literally carrying me in your pocket or your backpack. Sometimes just knowing you have the right person there for you on its own makes a world of difference. I've got your back. Even with this book in your hands, the game will still be hard and it will test you to your limits. But with my guidance and support, your journey will not be as painful or slow as mine was. If you trust and follow my instructions to the T, I'm confident you will reach the other side. This book ain't theory, motherfucker. In case you don't know me, I'd like to make something clear. This is a book written by a seducer who played the game at a high level. I speak from first-hand experience and live what I teach. Allow me to share a few points of credibility so you can be sure this book is based on field-tested methods that work out in the real world. I've been coaching men on the art of seduction full-time for the past 12 years straight. I have over 14 million views on YouTube. The methods in this book have been rigorously field-tested and proven out in the real world. This book isn't based on theory. The mindsets, principles, and frameworks contained within have worked for myself personally, as well as for thousands of men all around the world. The teachings contained in this book work across countries and cultures. They've proven to work for introverts, extroverts, and everyone in between. Everything in this book has been tested and proven thousands of times before a single page was published. I put in over 12 years of blood, sweat, and tears of coaching countless men before releasing this book. This isn't my first rodeo. You're not my guinea pig. I have already proven convincingly that what I teach works. Many men around the world have lost their virginity, gotten their first girlfriend, found their dream girl, broken free from fear, gotten married, and even started a family as a direct result of the teachings contained in this book. What separates the boys from the men in this game is the ability to not only get, but keep a beautiful woman. At the time of writing this chapter, I am blessed to be in the 9th year with my Romanian dream girl, Denisa. My girl is beautiful inside and out. She is loyal, intelligent, and incredibly feminine. A true beauty who turns heads wherever she goes. After 9 years, I can honestly say I still have a huge crush on my own girl. I want you to be able to say the same thing one day. I'm not telling you this in order to brag, but it's important you know that I walk my talk. I live what I teach. My results speak for themselves. If you look at my girl, I don't have to explain a thing. Side note, a man should never validate himself with anything external. I don't validate myself through my woman. I'm self-validated. I'm just sharing the fact that I've been with my dream girl for 9 years, so you know I walk my talk. There are a lot of fraud dating coaches out there who can't keep a woman. If you can't keep a quality woman, you don't have real game. The Honesty Method. In this book, you're going to learn my method, which is called the Honesty Method. I'm proud to say the Honesty Method is so effective, it's even proven itself to work on men who have high-functioning autism. High-functioning autism is a condition that makes it hard to read social cues in real time. This can make it quite challenging to navigate social interactions. Using the frameworks and mindsets of the Honesty Method, even my students with high-functioning autism are now successfully attracting and dating beautiful women consistently. It's not by luck. It's because they're following my proven method that simply works. I share this with you to demonstrate the depth of efficacy my method, the Honesty Method, has. If it works on guys who have high-functioning autism, then it will definitely work for you too. And if you have high-functioning autism yourself, then you will probably find this book helpful. I have extra respect for my autistic brothers. Despite their autism, they never accepted excuses or defeat. If a guy doesn't allow high-functioning autism to be his excuse, then what's your excuse? In conclusion, this isn't a book of speculation or theory. This is a book of rigorously field-tested, proven methods that produce predictable results when followed. Thousands of men before you have already gotten results from these teachings. I take my role in your life very seriously. I'm not here to talk theory. I'm here to give you the only thing that matters: results. Put simply, this book ain't theory, motherfucker. This shit works. Enough about me. Now, let's get back to you. The hero's journey. Will you answer the call to adventure? You are about to embark on the hero's journey. In every hero's journey, there is a guide and there is a call to adventure. You have found your guide in me. The next question is, will you answer the call to adventure? Since you're reading this book, I'm assuming your answer is yes. The hero's yes is always a reluctant one because the quest he faces is challenging and he's not entirely sure he will be able to conquer it. If you're feeling hesitation, know that it's completely normal. Even the most seasoned mountain climber feels reluctance before scaling the deadly mountain. He knows it's dangerous. He knows he might die, but the mountain calls him, so he must go. Similarly, you know this game is tough. You know it will test you to your limits, but it calls you, so you must go. In the movie The Hobbit, my favorite scene is when Gandalf is urging Bilbo Baggins to answer the call to adventure. "The world isn't in your books and maps. It's out there," says Gandalf. In response, Bilbo meekly asks, "Can you promise that I will come back?" Gandalf pauses, looks at Bilbo, and replies, "No. And if you do, you will not be the same." For me, this single line was the most impactful moment in the entire movie. I was reminded of my seduction journey. I'd undergone a great transformation from an insecure, naive, shy boy to a powerful, capable man and seducer. After my quest, I definitely was not the same. Adventure calls. This game is your rites of passage from boy to man. The boy must die in order to allow the man to emerge. Our hesitation before embarking on our great adventure comes from the knowledge that a death is going to occur. We're either going to die in the middle, in the form of giving up, or we're going to die at the end, in the form of transforming from a carefree boy to a duty-filled man. Life as a boy is a lot easier. We get away with not having much responsibility or accountability. It's no wonder we are so reluctant to let it go. But we must step into this rite of passage if we want to be able to look ourselves in the mirror, be proud of who we see, and experience peace in our hearts. Behind all the smiles and lighthearted flirtations, this game can be quite ruthless. This rite of passage is a grueling one. Make no mistake, if you undertake this journey, some parts of you will die forever. It will take things from you, including your naivety and your innocence. You will inevitably experience some heartbreak. Everything in life has a price, and this game is no exception. We will watch as you set off on your journey, disappearing over the horizon into the valley of darkness as a soft, untested boy. After some time passes, we will stand witness as you emerge from the other side, covered in sweat, dirt, blood, and scars. A rugged, beautiful, tested man. Bilbo's question, "Can you promise that I will come back?" is the universal question of doubt we all ask before embarking on an adventure that calls us. Listen, brother, we all carry a little doubt in ourselves. That's normal. Don't let doubt stop you. You may ask, "Jad, can you guarantee that this book is going to work for me?" I will answer you the same way Gandalf answered Bilbo. No, I can't guarantee anything. It will depend entirely on you and how much effort you put into this. But one thing I can assure you, if you do make it back, you will not be the same. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This game may be one of the hardest things you ever do. It was certainly one of the hardest things I ever did. Prepare to be tested to the very core of your being. This game isn't hard because of women. This game is hard because it forces you to do one of the most difficult things in the world, which is to face yourself honestly. This game is ruthless. It claims many victims. In my estimation, only 5 out of every 100 men who begin this quest make it out the other side. The other 95 fail. The 95% fail by either quitting the game because it was too hard, or they quit in the form of settling to date and marry women they're not attracted to. The harsh truth is, most men don't make it in this game. But that's one reason I love this game so much. It separates the boys from the men. It's called rites of passage. You have to earn your right to go through. You can't buy your way into it. Manhood is only earned. This book isn't for weak men who are looking for the easy way or shortcuts. I wrote this book for real men who have the balls to face themselves. This book is for the man who wants more out of life and isn't willing to settle for mediocre. I know the real you. The real you wants to know himself and test himself. Therefore, I call you up to that 10.0 version of yourself, and I will tolerate nothing less. The real you is a powerful warrior. Jiddu Krishnamurti taught, the only way to know oneself is in relation to environment. A man must bump himself up against environment to discover who he is and what he's made of. This book is for the man who can't wait to bump himself up against the world so that he can discover what he's made of. You must want to face yourself honestly. You must want to test yourself. Otherwise, drop this book and abandon this mission. If you wish to stay in your security bubble as a soft, fluffy, untested mama's boy, this game ain't for you. If this game is so bold as to defeat 95 out of every 100 men, you must be bolder. Don't let the game intimidate you. You're bigger than the game. I want you to charge into battle like the samurai warrior seeking a good death. The death you seek in this game is the death of the boy inside you. The boy must die. David D'Angelo. Don't seek security. Seek constant deaths. Charge into battle boldly, seeking the death of the boy. You're going to die many times in this game. Each death will produce a reincarnation to the next version of you. You will enter this game a soft boy. You will emerge the other side, a beautiful, rugged, tested man. Are you ready to die? We're not talking about metaphorical death anymore. Now we're talking about actual death. If I stuck a gun to your head right now, are you ready to go? Or would flashes of missed opportunities and regret flood your mind? You can put a gun to my head right now. Pull that trigger, motherfucker. I've faced everything I needed to face. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to die because I've really lived. I've made love to the most beautiful women, faced my greatest fears, hunted down my demons, and stepped on their necks repeatedly. I didn't let fear intimidate me out of living the life I wanted to live. And so, I have peace. If I stick a gun to your head, can you smile back at me and say, pull the trigger, I'm ready to go? If not, you have some work to do. I don't believe any man who loves women can die in complete peace, knowing he didn't experience these beautiful creatures fully. On the surface, this book is about how to get women. However, on a deeper level, what this book is really about is how to get peace. In order for a man to die in peace, he must look back at his life with no regrets. Whether it's when you're looking back at your life as an old man or during your final moments, when your entire life flashes before your eyes, I want you to be thinking to yourself, I really went for it. I really lived. So I am ready to die. That's what this book is really about. Having peace in your soul before you die. So when your time comes, you can pass away with a gentle smile on your face, knowing you gave it everything you had and left nothing in the tank. That's what Jad ultimately wants for you. Peace. Let's come back to the present moment. You're not an old man and you've still got time. Ever since I was 14, I was consciously aware and grateful for my youth, my good health, and my time. Even at 14, I would observe older guys, and I could see the regret and sadness in their eyes as they watched me talking to girls. As a teenager, I made the conscious promise to myself, I'm going to make the most out of my youth and milk it for all that it's worth. You carry a duty to yourself to squeeze everything you can out of life. You need to show up for yourself. Everyone knows the saying, you only live once. But I lived by another saying, you're only young once. Once again, make sure you milk your youthful years for all they're worth. You must lay your head down on your pillow every night, knowing you gave the day everything you had. Each day, allow yourself to be completely used up, knowing you couldn't have given anything more. You then string those days together to make up a life of no regrets. No one is ever going to care about you enough to hold you accountable to fully showing up for yourself and your life. Living life to the fullest is something each man must hold himself accountable to personally. Crushing doubt and believing in possibility. Look, I know this is scary. A big part of your struggle is that you're not even able to walk up to a woman you're truly attracted to. I feel you, bro. I battled with the same issue. No matter how much you're doubting yourself, I assure you, you got this. With the right strategy and mindset, you can break free from your prison of fear and completely dominate this game. Why is it going to work this time, even if you've failed countless times in the past? It's going to work this time because Jad's going to explain the game to you in a way no one else ever has. Before posting a single video online, I spent years reading, watching, and listening to dating advice from other men. Every time I'd consume a piece of content, I'd think to myself, not bad, but I could have explained that in a simpler and clearer way. Eventually, I decided to test my hypothesis. I started posting my own videos on YouTube to see how people would respond to them. My hunch was quickly validated. Almost instantly, feedback started pouring in from men all over the world, from America to Australia, Europe to India, and the message was the same. Jad, you're able to explain the game in a simpler way than everyone else. Jad, I've been studying seduction for years, but I could never transfer the teaching into real-world results. The way you explain the game is so simple that I can finally translate what I'm learning into real-world action. While other coaches make seduction complicated, you make it simple. Jad, thanks to you, I finally got my first girlfriend. The international consensus was the same. I had the gift of explaining the game in a simpler way than most coaches out there. When you're able to simplify the game for someone, you empower him to get results. I'm a natural-born teacher. I have the gift of simplifying the complex. Even if you've studied seduction for years, I will confidently say you haven't studied it with me. This is the difference that will make all the difference. My teaching is simple, and it causes the only thing that matters: behavior change and results. I teach seduction in a way that gets others to understand it, implement it, and get results. It will work this time because you have found the superior teacher of seduction, Jad T. Jones. I may be humble regarding a lot of things, but I won't be falsely humble regarding my coaching ability. I cause men to transform. That's a fact I have earned. I proudly declare myself to be one of the best teachers of seduction on the planet. I may have many flaws and shortcomings as a human being, but when it comes to teaching a man how to seduce women, I'm world class. Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Simplifying the complex is the true display of understanding. Any coach who overcomplicates seduction either doesn't know the topic well enough or wants to confuse you to sell you more shit. Seduction is simple and is as predictable as math. Women are predictable. The game may not be easy, but it is simple. There's nothing mysterious about the game or women. If the game and women were mysterious, I wouldn't be able to predictably and consistently get my clients results. It's all math. Through these pages, I will teach you that predictable math. It's going to work this time because someone is going to finally explain the game to you in a way where it all makes perfect, logical sense. My assistant coach and female advisor, Lizzie. Speaking of simplifying the game, I'd like to introduce you to my assistant coach, Lizzie. Lizzie has been my trusted advisor for the past 10 years. Whenever I don't understand something about women or the game, I consult her. Lizzie possesses a unique combination of qualities you'd be hard-pressed to find anywhere else. She's an intelligent, attractive young woman who also has a deep interest in the game. What makes her especially unique is that she has a touch of autism. Autism brings with it a series of superpowers. These superpowers include hypersensitivity, superior attention to detail, and pattern recognition. It's kind of like having your senses on steroids. You pick up on a lot more information and subtle details than the average person. This heightened awareness contributes to a unique and detailed perspective of the game. One particular talent Lizzie has is she's able to summarize a complex topic and distill it into one sentence. Lizzie and I frequently dive into complex discussions regarding the game and psychology. At the end of our conversation, she will sum up our entire 30-minute discussion with one simple sentence. What I find entertaining is that she does this unconsciously. It comes as second nature to her. Lizzie is a natural-born teacher in her own right. If there's one superpower Lizzie has, it's her ability to simplify the complex. For your benefit, I have included her simplifications and insights throughout this book. Side note, due to her line of work, Lizzie requested I not include her full name in this book. However, if you join my programs or watch my videos, you'll definitely meet her. What you have at your disposal are two hypersensitive, pattern recognition machines that are teaching you the game in the simplest way it has ever been presented. Lizzie and I are both able to articulate our insights in a simple way that men easily understand. As a team, I confidently say no one can match us at simplifying the game. I publicly challenge anyone to try. I believe fate brought Lizzie and I together so seduction could finally be taught in a simple enough way that millions of men all around the world could understand. A new dawn is upon us. Men are about to receive a collective awakening and elevation in their game. It's gonna work this time because we're gonna break down the game more simply than anyone has ever done before. Sometimes we need someone to believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. Let's talk about belief for a second. You don't have to fully believe in yourself at this stage. There's one element of the hero's journey people tend to overlook. In every hero's journey, the hero only made it because someone believed in him more than he believed in himself. Someone saw something special in him he couldn't yet see in himself. Don't get it twisted. I didn't conquer this game alone, not by a long shot. I was blessed to cross paths with many guardian angels along the way who injected their belief into me when I didn't have enough belief in myself. These special people are the unsung heroes of every story. If we reflect on our past achievements, we'll realize that the only reason we made it through was that someone believed in us more than we believed in ourselves. They lent us our belief. I believe in you. All you've been missing up till this point were the right mindsets, strategies, and support. If you're arriving at these pages already beaten and battered by years of disappointment and failure, fret not, dear one. If you're thinking, this may work for other guys, but it won't work for me, I'm here to tell you I've seen it work for the most unlikely of characters. I've worked with some extreme cases and we were able to turn it around. For them. You're not a hopeless case. Believe me when I tell you. You got this. I never count anyone out. Whoever has come to me for help, I have always believed in them. This is probably because ever since I was a boy, I had people repeatedly underestimate me and try to put me in a box. Nothing pisses me off more than being underestimated or being told I'm not capable of doing something. Fuck you and the box you're trying to put me in. I'm going to show you what I can do. This is why I never underestimate anyone. To underestimate someone is the biggest form of disrespect. It is also terribly dangerous because what if that person accepts the box you put them in? They will live the rest of their lives imprisoned, sitting passively in anguish as they watch their dreams die. No one has the right to measure what another man can or cannot do. Nobody knows what the human being is capable of. To underestimate someone is the highest form of ignorance. We are all infinite spirit, capable of anything. I'm here to champion you into the 10.0 version of you. The only thing you are is capable. In the words of the great inventor Thomas Edison, if we did all the things we were capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. Never underestimate the power of a man's will. Regardless of circumstances, apparent disadvantages, or shortcoming, a man who is dead set on getting something will very often get it. The will of man is a formidable force that can't be denied. When a man says, I'm willing to do whatever it takes and pay whatever price I need to pay in exchange for getting this woman thing handled, you can bet your money that man is going to be successful with women. During my past 12 years of coaching, I've witnessed many heroic transformations in my clients and followers. It's never a man's circumstances or conditions that determine his success or failure. It's the definite commitment he makes to win this game at all cost. When I say I believe in you, I'm not just saying it to make you feel better. I speak from experience. I have seen both myself and many of my students make amazing comebacks after everyone had counted us out. When I say, I know you can do this, I know it as a fact, not merely as a belief. You're fighting for your life. I know you're in the battle of your life. I was in the same battle. There were dark periods where I even contemplated ending my life because of how many times fear dragged me back down into the bottom of the dark hole. The future seemed bleak, but every time I faced the prospect of living the rest of my life in regret, I realized it was a pain I couldn't bear. So I would dust myself off, get back on my feet, and continue to stubbornly claw my way back up that hole. I know some of you are carrying a tremendous amount of pain inside. You bravely hide it behind your public smile and pleasant persona, but I see it. You're hurting because you're separate from beautiful women. I recognize your pain because I used to hide that exact same pain. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to make it to the other side together. I will carry you and believe in you until your belief in yourself comes back. I got you. At the moment, you don't have to believe in yourself completely. Just believe that Jad believes in you. Don't let your past failures define you. We are not defined by how many times we get knocked down. We are defined by how many times we get back up. Live by the Japanese proverb, fall down 7 times, get up 8. All you need to do to win this game is to get up one more time than you get knocked down. That's all I did. All right, so that's chapter 1 of Seduce with Integrity. I invite you to go over to Amazon to pick up your copy. As you have heard in the introduction, there is no audiobook at the moment. That's going to take months, maybe half a year. I'm not going to promise anything because it's the first time I go through this process. But either way, even if you had the audiobook, in my opinion, as a coach, if you're serious about mastering the game, either way, you're going to have a hard copy because this is going to serve as a reference guide. It's not like you read this once and then that's it. No, this is an instruction manual full of rigorously field-tested and proven frameworks you want to use in the real world. And any serious seducer who wants to master the game is obviously going to have his notes, he's going to have his reference guide, and he's going to, study the reference guide for years. So I invite you to go pick up the book on Amazon. I recommend you get the hard copy, not the floppy copy. Okay, the hard copy, I mean the hardcover. It's a much nicer experience. It's 500 pages, so it's a nicer experience. And in case you think I'm trying to sell you, make extra money on the hardcover, I don't make any extra money. The extra $5 or whatever Amazon charges you for the hardcover, that goes to them. It's not going to me. All right, this is for your sake. Get the hardcover. It's a much nicer experience. It's worth the extra $5. So, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I would love if you give me some feedback on the, what would you rate the audiobook performance on that? And if you have any suggestions for me on how to improve the audiobook performance, let me know. Side note, don't give me comments like, oh, I could hear the paper ruffling. Like, we're going to take care of that, but we're just talking about the vocal performance. All right. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, recommend it to a friend. I'll see you in the next. Peace.